Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, My Hero Academia Season 4 Episode 15. Yes, I'm really getting up to date with My Hero Academia recordings because as you know, I couldn't record for a week and I already explained why. My camera went just gone for a while. So enough about that. Obviously, I'm not going to bore you with the same stuff, but let's remember what we saw last time. We saw the conclusion for the Eri arc, let's call it. I honestly don't know if it's called like that or if it has another name, but I would like to call it the Eric arc. We know what happened with all the heroes that were involved into this rescue of this little girl, and yes, when Midoriya in the end said, okay, all the people were damaged, all the people were hurt because of this little girl, sounds kind of superficial. Sounds like, okay, you did so much for so little in the end. But I don't think that's the intention, obviously. Yeah, it sounds so small, but when you put it in perspective, it could save the whole hero society. Because, yeah, this bastard will have hurt Eri, yes, of course, but not only that, he will have destroyed or at least control the hero society because he will produce these bullets so they can get rid of the heroes, and they will give the heroes the bullets so they can recover their power. So it was a very twisted plan, but in the end, as I said before, the rescue of Eri was absolutely important. Absolutely, it saved the hero society as a whole. The problem is now that the League of Villains has these bullets. I don't know if they are going to be able to mass produce them. Hopefully no, hopefully they will lose it, or hopefully Shigaraki is going to destroy it by accident. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best for the heroes, honestly, because it's frightening that these villains has these terrible bullets. So yes, I think that was a great episode. But enough about that, and now let's go to the other boring part. Please, if you are not subscribed, consider a subscription to the channel so you can, interact with us and know when I upload the video. And to do that, please turn on notifications. Please, if you enjoy the video, give us a like and leave a comment so I know what you think about my reaction, about the episode, about whatever we're doing here. And obviously this will help a lot with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on Twitter so you can get up to date with the news, that will be fantastic too. And yes, I know it sounds very weird, I still have the flu. But anyway, yes, enough about this. Let's just cut all this presentation and watch the video, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 15th episode of the series of the 4th season, and I watched the intro and the outro several more times, only exclusively those two parts. Let's start with the intro. The intro is, as I said during my reaction, it reminds me a lot of an intro of a Shoujo anime. Yeah, it has all the elements, and obviously that is a very different thing from what we saw at the beginning of the episode, which is obviously a recapitulation of what we saw, what happened with Chisaki in the last one. And yeah, it's kind of weird to see those images one after the other. One, the very gruesome, very terrible thing that happened to this awful person. And the other one is this Shoujo intro. Yeah, it looks like that. And it actually looks like it was a Shoujo anime whose protagonist was Jiro. That's what I got the vibe from this intro, that Jiro is going to play a very important part in the second half, or in this second arc of this 4th season. So yes, and yeah, not only I got that vibe, but I actually got the vibe that Bakugo, Todoroki, and Midoriya were the male protagonists, kind of the romantic protagonists of this Shoujo anime. Yeah, it's weird, because I obviously have my own ships, and you know most of those ships. I have obviously the Midoriya and Uraraka ship. I love that one. yeah, it's kind of been established from the beginning, and everything that we have seen so far in the anime is pointing towards that goal, that Uraraka and Midori are going to end up together, or at least my shipping goggles are looking at that like that. My other shipping, obviously, that it contradicts with what I said before, is Todoroki and Momo. I start shipping them only by the interaction they have during the final exams, and obviously everything that was revealed in that final exam. For Bakugo, I have no one, honestly. I have this just alone. Yes, my opinion of Bakugo has improved, but not enough for me to go and ship it with anybody, honestly. I have nobody for Bakugo. Anyway, going back to the intro and stop speaking about my ships. We saw obviously Endeavor, which is completely out of place in this intro because again, it looked like a Shoujo intro, not a shonen. But again, I love how they push the narrative that All Might is Deku's dad. I love that fact. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I love it. I love the fact that they are kind of pushing this narrative. We saw Endeavor and another dude with him. I do not recognize the dude. I think I have seen it before, but I'm not entirely sure. And I think it has been in this season, but I don't recall exactly where. Then, of course, we have Principal Nesu with a bunch of kids, which I have no idea what it is. And Aizawa. It's just a frame. It's just a frame, but we saw Aizawa holding a very cute t-shirt. I don't know what does it mean, but it looks kind of out of place too, especially for Aizawa. Then, of course, we got the ending of the intro. We have a band, or we saw a band. We don't see exactly who it was, or we don't see it very clearly, other than obviously Jiro. But I kind of noticed certain things. I went frame by frame and tried to really hold it in a frame that is very, very the closest frame that I could get before it changes to only exclusively Jiro. And I saw Tokoyami, and I saw two blondes, and I think the only two blondes in Class 1A are Bakugo and Kaminari. So yeah, and it kind of matches the color of the hair. I think Kaminari is playing another guitar, and if I'm correct, Bakugo is playing drums. And possibly Momo, because he's the only one who has that black hair. It's not like Ida's hair. Ida's hair is more like blue, dark blue, but Momo is that jet black hair. So I guess the band is composed by Tokoyami, Kaminari, and Bakugo and Momo. So yeah, again, I don't know where this is going, and obviously this intro is very musically inclined. It's kind of a festival, but we saw a lot of instruments, a lot of notes, a lot of things that push towards that narrative that is a very musical arc, especially with the last picture that we got from Class 1A, in which everybody from Class 1A is holding an instrument. I could see like classic guitar, like acoustic guitar, Uraraka, like the guitar, Tsuyu, a clarinet, I think it was from Zero, and obviously the freaking My Hero Academia. I could see Momo holding a sax, a cello from the food guy. The animal guy, I cannot see it clearly. I think I saw Tokoyami with an electric guitar. I see a triangle, well, several triangles from the octopus guy. I saw Ida with an ocarina, and oh yes, a trumpet with Midoriya, and another electric guitar with Kaminari, and an harmonica with Bakugo, which is kind of weird in this case. So yeah, a lot of musical instruments, and I don't know what the hell does anything of that means. But again, this intro is pushing the narrative that is very musically inclined episode arc. Now, the episode obviously is dealing with kind of things but obviously it's not as hype as previous one. The episode, I think, is very short for me to explain it or to try to interpret the episode. It's obviously we're dealing with Midoriya's way of thinking, that he tried to save everybody and he feels bad because he wasn't able to save everybody. And this, I think, coaching the villains, and I think coaching Mirio and everybody else, and obviously Night Eye. Midoriya wanted to save everybody, and he blames himself for all the failures, even if those weren't his fault, honestly. He did everything that he could. Yes, he received help, but let's think again. He is still a first year. He is still not dominating his power, and he is still training. So, but I love this attitude of Midoriya that doesn't change that. It doesn't change the fact that he wants to save everybody. He just wants to save all the people he can, because he's a hero at heart, and he feels bad when he cannot save everybody. I love and I hate at the same time the fact that Midoriya wants to give his power to Mirio. Because, yeah, again, Midoriya feels guilty because, well, he believes that it's his fault that Mirio lost his power, which is absolutely not true. This is a decision that Mirio took by himself. He sacrificed himself trying to save Eri, but this was something that Mirio wanted to do. So, yes, I understand Midoriya, and I understand this, but I like the fact that Mirio said, no, I am going to try to recover my power, because, yes, there is a possibility, thanks to Eri's power, hopefully she's going to be able to manage her power, to control her power, and Mirio is going to recover his own quirk. I love how Mirio is still trying to put a big smile, trying to make everybody happy. Because I don't think, obviously, Mirio is completely happy. This is a facade that he's trying to put to make everybody happy, because he wants to respect the wishes of his previous mentor, of Night Eye. I think there is something deeper there, and I think the outro, when I reach there, is going to give me the perfect opportunity to tell you why. But anyway, yes, we saw that, and we saw how Midori is trying to save everybody, but obviously he's rejected the receiving or the giving of the exchange of the quirk. So I'm happy because Midoriya and how Mirio is being portrayed. But I was kind of sad because, yeah, come on, Midoriya, you are my favorite character. Don't do this to me. But anyway, yeah. Then, of course, we have a new villain. Let me check in my notes the name of this dude, because, yeah. Gigantomachia. Gigantomachia. I don't know how to pronounce that freaking name. But yeah, he's a huge dude. It looks solid. He looks like he's made out of rocks or something like that. So yeah, it's very intimidating, very powerful. And they barely escape with their lives and Kurogiri. So yeah, perhaps it's a good thing, because they captured Kurogiri. I don't know what the League of Villains is planning to do, but there is a lot of stuff there. A lot of deeper thought. Anyway, we don't tell a lot in that place. We move on with the provisional license for heroes, and obviously the only ones from Class 1A, and actually I think from UA, from the hero course, is Bakugo and Todoroki. And I love how I love how Todoroki doesn't give a fuck about what Bakugo has to say. Everybody is intimidated by Bakugo, but Todoroki say, "Oh yeah, fuck you, man. I don't care what you think." When he says "walk behind me," he says, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever." He doesn't even respond. He just keeps on walking, and I love that fact. I love that. Yeah, Todoroki doesn't give a shit about him. And we meet the dudes from Shiketsu that did not pass. The meat guy, which is just there to observe, because he did not even pass the first phase. We got Inasa, Inasa, the wind guy, which obviously has to take the provisional exam. And we have somebody that I have no idea if she was alive, but we got Kami. Yeah, I have to read it in my notes. We have Kami, which is something I'm so glad, because I was so sad when it was revealed that it was actually Toga behind that. I am so glad that she is alive, because let's be honest, she has a very hot body, and from what I have seen in these few scenes, I like her more than just obviously how hot she is. So yeah, I am so glad that she is alive. I'm so glad, and perhaps we're going to expand into her personality because yeah, so far we have seen that she is very outgoing, very bold. So yeah, I like her. I like her, and obviously the provisional exam is going to be very hard. Other aspect I like about this episode is when they receive our heroes, the heroes that rescue Eri, that everybody is just saying, oh, I'm so glad that you are fine, I'm so glad that you are okay, and all of that, yes. I especially like Ida how try to control himself, saying, okay, let them rest, let them be calm and quiet. But when Midoriya say, oh, it's fine, Ida, it's okay, that's when it explodes. Oh, I was so worried about you. Because, yeah, he saw the lowest point in Midoriya back then at the beginning of the arc. So, yeah, it's cute to see that. Yeah, the episode was again very short to explain. It's kind of a transition between arcs. We have the finish, the last part of the previous arc, and we have the beginning of a new arc, which is, I assume, is going to be the provisional license. But I don't know what the intro. The intro is telling me other information, but this episode is giving me something else. So I don't know what is going to happen with this. Anyway. Let's move on to the outro. The outro shows us pictures of different heroes in their youth. We saw All Might in the first frame, in the first 3 pictures, but I do not recognize anybody else from that place. So yeah, I know All Might, that he won perhaps the sports festival. Which year, I have no idea. I don't know if it's first, second, or third year. Then, of course, we have in the next frame, we have Present Mike, we have Aizawa, which I didn't notice the first time I saw this one. We have what I assume is Fat Gun for the look, for the food and everything else. And we have 2 of the 3 big 3. We have Mirio when he was a cute kid, and we have a Majiki when he was a lot shyer. Then we have, in the next one, we have another 3 pictures. And I only recognize Toga. That's the only one I recognize with friends, which actually makes her terrifying. Because I could not stop myself from thinking what happened with those girls that were alongside with Toga. So yeah, the idea is terrifying. The other guys I did not recognize. I saw 3 dudes and a little girl in the background, and another 2 dudes with coffee aprons, and that's it. But I do not recognize anybody else. Then we have the Todoroki family. We saw Endeavor in a suit with, I just noticed that the fucking tie has flames on it. Good lord, that is tacky, man. Yeah, I know I'm not a fashion expert, but come on, man, that's... Oh god, that's terrible sense of fashion. And of course the mom, or the Todoroki mom, I guess this is, oh yes, there is the scar. So yeah, this is before the terrible accident. We saw the sister and what I assume is the brother of Todoroki. And we saw another dude with, I don't know, wings? Red wings? Anyway, yeah. And that's for the outro. Well, not entirely. We got a scene in which everybody is in the room, and I think this is important one in the outro. We saw different states of sleep. They all look restless, all of them. Aoyama, Mina, Ida, Ojiro, Kaminari, all of them look restless. But what really caught my attention is Mirio, or what I assume is Mirio, because the first time I saw it, I thought it was Bakugo, but the hair doesn't look like Bakugo's hair. So the only blonde guy that I could think of is actually Mirio. Because before that we got kind of closer looks from Midoriya, Todoroki, Bakugo, Uraraka, Tsuyu, and Kirishima. And then we have kind of the rest of the guys. But what I really caught my attention of this scene is the way that Mirio is portrayed, like having, well, he was kind of waking up from a nightmare. That's the vibe I get from that image from Mirio. What I assume is Mirio. So yeah, that's why I assume that what he was doing when he was exercising, when he was happy, it's kind of a facade to make not worry Midoriya. And since he introduced himself before, well, he knocked and he introduced himself before entering the room, I assume Mirio wasn't that happy before that. So yeah, it's obviously why he feels like this. It's obvious why he feels like this, because he just lost his quirk. And for a hero, especially for a hero like him, in which he has been training his quirk over and over and over again and exhausting himself, and it's just a mere second he lost it. Yeah, it should feel terrible. It's understandable how he feels. So that's why I assume that this is obviously not what we saw of Mirio. It's understandable, and that's what I was referring back then when I speak about that scene. Now, the last scene of the outro is we saw how everybody's been developing. We saw obviously Bakugo and Midoriya, which are kind of the protagonists of the anime. Obviously, Midoriya is more than Bakugo, but we saw in the background All Might, and they are growing up. And All Might is strong, is showing his muscle, is being powerful All Might. But we saw the progression in which he's in the last scene when they are grown up. He's weaker, and not only that, but I love the background of different lights. It's just kind of the sun rising and then the sun setting. So yeah, I love those kind of subtle message, because again, perhaps for All Might the sun is setting, but it could interpret it the other way around, that the sun is rising for these two new heroes. So yeah, I love those subtle messages in the outro. So yeah, I really like this outro, and I really like the intro, even though it doesn't fit with the anime. Well, at least it doesn't. I think it doesn't fit with the anime. But yeah, I think I really exhausted the topic of this one. I speak a lot, but obviously I have to speak about the intro and the outro. But yeah, this is going to be a long ass commentary. Holy cow, 19 minutes. But anyway, yes, I think I spoke enough about everything that happened in this episode, everything new. The only thing I have to say is, let me remind you guys, if you enjoy the content of the channel, please consider a subscription and turn on notifications so you can get up to date with whatever we're doing with the channel. If you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment so the algorithm will help me out and this video is spread with a lot more people. Because yeah, that is how the algorithm works for YouTube. And obviously, so I know what you think about the episode, what you think about my reaction, about my commentary. So yes, I have nothing else to say, but thank you for your attention and see you in the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks and see you on the next one.